My name's Perrin Hicks from Hicks Jacobs Dairies. You're at the Whispering Pines farm, and I've been a business partner at this farm for 10 years and a part of the business for about 20.
So I'm Warren. I've been dairy farming 40 years, been on this farm for 35 years.
I'm Asher, Warren's son, sort of grew up in the business, joined sort of in the partnership sort of 5 years ago with my wife Jenny.
I'm Jenny Jacobs, Asher's wife. I've been on the farm for about 7 years now. Just do calving cows, sick cows, mating cows, that's sort of my role around the place.
My great-grandpa were here and they were vegetable gardeners. Then they milked a few cows by hand. Then my dad had a dairy, he had 30 cows, built it up to 120. And that's when I came home and helped, and we built that then to 400 cows. Bought this property up here. We had a herringbone dairy. It went from, I think, about 10 cows to 15 to 20. Asher came back on the farm, and also Perrin, probably 10 years ago, we set up the partnership between us.
I probably always had my eye on sort of the technology side of things and different ways to do it. And as robotics started to make a bit of noise, just always caught our eye. We ended up looking at it as probably a reduction in labour, long hours as well, like morning milkings to take probably up to 4.5 hours at peak in winter when we're really cranking with fresh cows. Since we had 2 young kids now, it makes it real hard. You're either up real early or you're back home real late, and just got kids' bedtime and all that stuff just makes it real tough.
So in getting it all together, we first had to make sure we had the money to do it. And I think back then, you know, whatever dairy we built, you know, the price was similar. So we might as well have gone with robots.
We got quotes from the 3 main brands in our area. We were very confident from the start that anyone can put cups on the cows. Like, we were all confident in every brand to actually be able to physically milk a cow. Lely in the end felt like they were ahead of the curve. They'd been around for the longest, just sort of the whole farm system just felt that much more robust with Lely, I guess is the word. That's probably the main thing, just always felt like wherever we looked, Lely were just that bit in front.
We sort of had the whole dairy finished about 2 or 3 weeks before we needed to start using it. We were allowed 4 or 5 days of completely milking, like running the cows in training mode through the robots, which really helped with startup.
Startup for us went pretty smoothly in the end. As I said, we did a fair bit of pre-training. We were running them for empty robots for probably 2 weeks, and we had the feed system turned on for probably 2 or 3 days in the lead up to it. The cows would walk in, they knew where the grain was. They get a little bit annoyed at an arm swinging underneath their belly, but as soon as they got over that, we actually had a pretty good time with it.
We always expected, you know, there'd be a settling in period, and production was down a little at the start. But we've built that up now to where it's as good as it's been in the past. If not, it's actually exceeded that.
We might have gone probably a little too hard of trying to just force the free flow. What I'm seeing now is they'll always get there eventually, and it still took 6-7 months regardless for them to really settle into being able to trust that the cows that are meant to come in will come in. We're sitting on 2.2, 2.3, probably ranges up to 2.8, as opposed to in the old system just 2 milkings flat a day.
So we've lost 2 full-time labour units that have left and gone on to other jobs, and really as far as this farm's concerned, we haven't felt the pinch as much as I thought we would. And obviously 2 full-time labour units is a pretty significant saving within the business.
So we calve 3 times a year. So we calve in March, July and November. Our biggest one being the July one, and then November, the one we're just calving into, is our smallest one. We do a double off-sync program with the cows. So basically we want all the cows to line up so that they ovulate and we mate them all on one day. This just condenses the calving down a bit, so we get through it a lot quicker. Sure, it's a lot of work, but we're then don't have as many sick calves and stuff going through.
We get a lot more data than we probably used to. We used to have a, ADF system in the old herringbone. You'd have to wait 2 herd tests each time to be able to find out what's going on with individual cows. And even then it'd get probably heavily distorted. You get one snapshot every 5 weeks of where you're at. It'd work out, but it's just a lot more real time now.
My favourite part, I guess, the collar data, your behaviour graph has really helped because I do all the animal health side of things. So if we've got a sick cow, I can get a lot of information from her behaviour graph and also her milkings. It just has made it a lot easier, I guess, to work out sick cows, and the fact that, you know, the program alerts you when there's anything off with a cow and tells you, look, this cow might be sick, and then you draft them off, and then I can have a look at that, what's really going on with the cow, and then go from there as to what to do with her.
Next 2-3 years around here, I mean, our personal goals are we're raising a young family. We've got a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old. Refine this system with an eye to the future. We've got another farm that's still a herringbone, run by Perrin, who's part of our partnership. The goal is long term to get robots in there as soon as we sort of get the chance to. We'll probably try and get collars over there, maybe look at some of the raceways and earthworks and anything that we can do in advance, so that when we're ready to pull the trigger, we can go real hard on it. At this stage, robots probably should be a consideration that every farmer undertakes if you're building a new dairy, regardless. You might not want them for one reason or another, or you might think this or that, but it's probably worth the phone call to at least bring them out and see how it would look like and think about how it would look like. Just the flexibility you can get from your day is just probably unmatched, even with your fanciest of your rotaries. And they're just worth it. They're worth consideration and worth just giving a phone call.